Run through the tape. In life, never give up. Run through the tape.
Eastern Conference Finals. Now let's send it to Matt Weiner in Atlanta.
Brian, Smitty, Lewis, appreciate it. Almost a historic win for the Grizzlies, considering how seldom it is that the Warriors lose on their home floor. It's Inside the NBA, presented by Kia here from Atlanta. Matt Weiner in for Ernie Johnson tonight. It's Shaq, it's Kenny, it's Charles over there. The Grizzlies, the comeback after game one, 97-90. They win it with Mike Conley gutting it out for 22 points along the way. More coming. A pair of twos tomorrow night. Game 2 of the Bulls-Cavaliers series. And then it's the Clippers going for a road sweep in Houston. Doc Rivers says Chris Paul is 50-50 to play Game 2 tomorrow night. Let's get to the highlight. Grizzlies and Golden State.
Congratulations, Steph Curry. Well deserved.
First Warriors MVP since 1960. Mike Conley, back after missing 3 games following facial surgery, hit his first 4 shots. What a boost for Memphis.
You know, he played well. It was an emotional night for him, and you know, he wasn't nervous. Didn't really seem nervous. He just had to come out and let it go. Play with great intensity, control the floor for his team, and excellent win for the Memphis Grizzlies.
I was surprised how aggressive he was. He showed no pain, man. He was going for it. Congratulations, Mike Conley.
This is not the Warriors' night from outside the 3-point line, but Leandro Barbosa knocks one down there, and it's a 2-point game. Conley using the screen. Look at that floater. He's a left-handed player, remember, the offhand floater from about the free throw line.
Yeah, his ability to shoot it deeper than Tony Parker, I think, makes his a little bit more unique and maybe more depth.
Conley drives, trying to hang on to it, calls timeout. Draymond Green comes over to rip it away and whacks him on that mask. Or as Shaq puts it, touches him up.
It was an accident, though. You know, he was reaching for the ball. Face mask just happened to be here. He just touched him up.
Face mask?
You condoned it either way.
Face mask.
Face mask.
Both.
Zebo was big, even though he turned the ball over here. His ability to score in the post, but this is far and few, Matt. These fast break points that we see here did not happen at a premium. But first team all defense was really good tonight.
Oh, yeah,
it was really good. The one problem I see Memphis have, they got to start getting their offense a little bit quicker and don't milk the shot clock every single time, and they can do a better job of passing out to double team. That's the only 2 things I would like to see them improve upon.
First time all season, the Warriors failed to score 40 in the first half, and they were down by 11 at halftime. Zebo beating the shot clock. Memphis taking off in the third, up by 8, and then they turn up the defense. Marc Gasol gets a big mid on that pass. Tony Allen.
What a play.
He was wreaking all kinds of havoc in this game. A swipe there as he picks Klay Thompson.
That's his new name, Matt. One tag. First team all defense.
I'd have got away with a foul right there.
He probably should have started this campaign before the votes were cast. Nonetheless, he made his point tonight.
Made his point. They were very active. They were all over the place. They actually really wanted this game.
7 Golden State turnovers in the third quarter. Memphis up a dozen. Zebo out of the post over Draymond Green. What kind of a matchup's that going to be, Joe?
It's going to be a long night.
Long night. Barbecue chicken. Dark meat.
Allen with another swipe and a stuff.
I'm not
defense. I see you, baby.
I'm not criticizing Steve Kerr by a lot, but let me tell you, he got to quit playing those little munchkins out there. So they're going to have a matchup as long as this series goes. They're going to have such a big advantage down low. He got to play a bigger, longer.
Still Golden State explosive. Curry with the floater in the lane. That got him within 7, but Conley knocks down.
That was a dagger.
The huge.
I agree with you. That was a dagger.
That was it, man. I mean, his ability to take not only control the tempo, but take the big shots in the big moments after facial surgery, not playing for a week. More than impressive.
That was impressive because, you know, at that point it was still a 7-point game. And that put it up to 10. That was the nail in the coffin. And the best thing about this game for the Grizzlies, they do not play again until Saturday.
Lots of rest for Conley, who played 27 minutes, went 8 of 12, 3 of 6 from 3-point range, and scored 22 points. Just the third home loss of the entire season for the Golden State Warriors. Ended a 21-game win streak on their home floor. It's their first loss against a Western Conference team since November. Let's listen to Dave Yeager after Memphis gets the split on the road.
A little bit more physical than the first one. They will continue to get more physical as the series goes on. I thought Mike Conley had tremendous heart to come out and give us what he got. Again, day in and day out, he's gotten a little bit better, but you never have an expectation from my position that he's going to come out and go back and be who he was 2 weeks ago right away the first night out. But he gave us an extra element. Pick and rolls were tremendous. Make some shots. Hit a big three at the end. They're a great team. They really are. So it's going to be really fun to go back to Memphis. We're fired up to be back in front of the home crowd.
Dave, how important is Mike Conley to what you were able to do tonight? And were you able to speak with him throughout the game, and how was he feeling?
Well, probably not very good. I couldn't really tell you on the record. But, it's painful. And, he's going through some pain, but also it can be a little bit of a conditioning issue too. There's only so much stuff you can do on the exercise bike or whatever where you get your blood pressure really high and it's like your head wants to explode. So he hasn't been able to do a lot of conditioning. So just to get his legs underneath him will be important the next 4 days.
Dave, how would you describe the energy, the physical play in this game?
Time for some cold hard facts presented by Coors Light. Memphis turned to their point guard and to their trademark D in Game 2 when they held the Warriors to 42% and just 6 of 26 from three-point range, forced 20 turnovers. First time the Warriors have had more turnovers than assists on their home floor the entire season. And the first time Golden State has lost a game in 45 games when they held their opponent under 100 points. Chuck, how impressed are you by what Memphis pulled off tonight?
Listen, Mike Conley, that was impressive. To not being able to, Coach talked about not really being able to do anything for 10 days. Not only come out and play well. And we knew two things going into this series. Golden State was going to try to beat you with jumpers. Memphis is going to try to maul you down low. Gasol and Randolph will have an advantage every single game. It's going to be if Golden State can make enough jumpers. I've always said they got a very good team. I want guys beating the hell out of you down low, getting layups, getting other team in foul trouble. Jumpers, I always said, jumpers are like pretty girls. They're really good looking when they going in. But then when you realize that pretty girl is dumb, you're in for a long date. And I don't like jump shooting teams. And these guys got
and if the water is cold, if the water is cold as the mountain cops, what the hell? That analogy didn't connect.
I told you that. I always tell you that.
I understand, but I don't understand. But if you find out she's dumb part.
You got to get rid of her. Because it's ugly. But they do. I always use
wait, time out. So basically,
first
you're
it's going to
saying,
be a long date.
No, I just got to understand the analogy. So the jump shot is the pretty girl.
Yes, and when it's going
in,
it's very pretty.
She's pretty.
Yes.
But when it's not going in, she's dumb.
I'm saying when you figure out she's very pretty, and then when it's not working, you realize how dumb she is, it's time to let it go. And that's okay, and that's what happened. But
I just want to catch it.
Is the jump shot pretty or not?
Only when it's going in. That's my point.
Okay. But the jump shot could be dumb, but it's dumb and pretty.
No. It can't. It's only pretty when it's going in.
Okay, got you.
That's why I think
Otherwise
sometimes your jumper just don't go. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are two of the best shooters in the world. But I think when you playing against physical teams, and they probably do a better job than anybody. Because like I say, if you look at the stats during the regular season, this is Steph Curry's lowest points probably against any team. That's because Mike Conley goes at him. I would never, with him and Klay Thompson, they are terrific, but I'd go at them. I want to set picks on them every single time. I want to see how those legs, those jumpers feel in game 4, 5, 6, and 7. I've always said that strategy against jump shooting teams. Yeah, especially early in the playoffs, they had a pretty easy series last game. In this series, I just think if you can be physical with jump shooters, their percentages are going to come down as the playoffs progress.
Well, I will say this. It's their first loss. in the playoffs. This is the first time they lost in the playoffs so far.
First loss in 10 games.
In 10 games. I mean, so this pretty girl is still pretty without makeup. And it might not have a college education.
We're going to continue down this road, are we?
But it might have a GED. So, I still believe that, and I said this about him, as much as he's true in a lot of that statement about jump shot shooting teams, if you told Reggie Miller and Ray Allen that they can't make a career off shooting jump shots, I'd say you're lying. If you're saying that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry can't make a career and win a championship, I would say you're lying too. Those are the only two guys that could do it. There no one else in basketball that could do that. But those two guys are capable enough to do it.
Curry Thompson and Draymond Green, 10 of 21 from three-point range in game one, 3 of 20 tonight. So settle this for us. Are the Grizzlies going to force the Warriors to play any differently?
They can't play any different.
I guarantee you the Warriors are in the locker room saying we just missed shots. They're not impressed being mauled down low because, you know, they face a lot of teams with a lot of big guys, but they were off. This is the first time I've seen both the Splash Brothers off.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, will they be off 3 more games and lose the series? I don't think so. You know, just a bad night for them, emotional night for Steph. You know, ball wasn't going in, but, you know, usually when they lose, and they haven't lost a lot, but usually when they lose, they come back with a vengeance. So, you know, this next game is a very important game.
16 assists also ties a season low for the Golden State Warriors. Weird night on their home floor.
So what's the ugly girl
Building
and
get a
dumb?
little weird.
That's a pretty girl, right?
That's an ugly girl and dumb.
Oh, no, it ain't.
That's a pretty girl.
That's a bad jump shooter. That's what that is.
That's a pretty girl, right?
No, she ugly and she dumb.
No, that's a inside game that misses dunks.
She can't shoot at all.
That's ugly. Y'all some haters, man. Y'all some haters.
She got some nice arms, though.
More inside.
There you go, Chad.
Including the Wizards Hawks, game 2 minus a Washington All-Star. Highlights coming up.
Last man on earth pass on that one.
Back on Inside the NBA, don't forget Inside Stuff comes your way each and every Saturday at noon Eastern Time on NBA TV. Grant Hill, Kristen Ledlow, they'll hook you up. Game 1 of the Wizards Hawks Conference semifinal was like a compromise. Hardly anyone emerged from it feeling good. The Hawks walked off their floor dazed after missing open shots and failing to close out a game they led after 3 quarters for the first time all season long. Wizards got yet another road win, but it came at a price to their formidable backcourt. Bradley Beal was brought to tears by an ankle injury, while John Wall's left hand was swollen like his postseason numbers after a second quarter fall. So much so, it turned out that Wall was unavailable for tonight's Game 2. Remember, he's averaged 17 points, nearly 13 assists a game during the playoffs so far, but Wall was a no-go. Speaking of Grant Hill,
is he part of new ownership group?
He is part of the new ownership group.
That's
saying hi to the fans there.
Working it all.
John Wall's, well, he's doing inside stuff. John Wall in street clothes. Ramon Sessions, your starter for the Wizards tonight. Another good start for the Hawks, who were up double digits in the first quarter. Damari Carroll for the layup on the break. 18 assists, guys, on 20 first-half buckets for Atlanta.
DeMar Carroll's played great.
Yes, he has. Former Missouri Tiger.
That's feet work right there, Matt.
Paul Millsap with the aforementioned feet work. He had 13 in the first half. Oh, Kyle Korver with the block.
Oh, give me that. Give me them cookies.
On the other end.
This is the guy to me who's got to pick it up if the Hawks are going to win this series.
Jeff Teague?
Jeff Teague.
I'm not sure if his ankle's hurting or not, but he hasn't been the same Jeff Teague in terms of explosion.
7 of 31 his last 3 games.
Well, he's got to pick it up again if his ankle's hurting. Because we just saw a guy with a broke face play great. You can't be complaining about your ankle if a guy played with a broke face.
Yeah, you don't run with your face.
Am I right, Shaq?
You're right, baby.
Come on, man.
Sessions had the feeling. 10 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, he came out real aggressive.
Ramon played well.
He's a scoring point guard. He did a lot, but not enough.
Atlanta's still up by 3. Kent Bazemore turns it over. Bradley Beal
Tough
will
move.
finish. He had 20 on 22 shots.
Nice speed right there.
He's going to be a superstar.
Wizards within 2. Check out Otto Porter and the bounce he gets here.
Oh.
The three goes. We're tied at 71. Al Horford working on Nene.
Who named their kid Otto?
Somebody who likes cars.
Well, it was Otto Porter Jr., so I'm going to guess Otto Porter Sr. probably did that.
Talk to Otto Porter Sr. when I see him.
Well, you need to talk to Otto Porter Sr.'s parents. Otto figured in, if I'm Otto, he Otto.
To the fourth quarter, remember the Hawks were under
18%
in game one of the fourth quarter. This time it was Washington at 27%. Al Horford with the layup, and then it's Sessions finishing. He had 21 on the night, a playoff.
You know what Otto spelled backwards is?
Yep.
Otto. That's when you know you got an awful name.
That's the main criteria?
That's the main criteria.
If you can spell it the same way forward and backward.
If you can misspell your name and it's the same name.
Here's at 15. Paul Millsap, offensive board, put back. And then it's Pero Antic, 10 of 23 from three-point range in the postseason so far.
Yeah, he's automatic from the three.
Kyle Korver, 1 of 7 from 3 in the first half, 3 of 4 after halftime. And then it's Horford.
Oh, that was a nice
Millsap.
shot. I thought he was out. But he wasn't. He was in back.
So after the disastrous fourth quarter in game one, the Hawks won the fourth quarter by 11 this time. Atlanta still hasn't lost consecutive home games all season long. Washington suffered just their second road postseason loss in their last 10. 16 turnovers in this game. Without Wall, they had just 8 in game one. Wow. DeMarre Carroll now 6 straight 20-point games.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah. 6 straight?
6 straight. That's the longest postseason streak by. I got you. Longest postseason streak by Hawks since Dominique in 1988.
Wow.
David Aldridge has the wrap-up from Phillips.
Dominique Otto called him and tell him congratulations.
The clock is already ticking on John Wall and the Washington Wizards after Wall missed game 2 with what he and the team say is a badly sprained left wrist. Wall said that he simply could not control his dribble, couldn't get to his crossover, and did not feel comfortable.
The swelling was too much for him to handle today, so we got 3 days off. So we'll just evaluate him day to day here, see how it goes.
How did the defensive game plan change once you found out John Wall was out?
If I tell you, I have to kill you. Now, we kept the same game plan. You know, Raymond Sessions, he's a really good player. He started a lot in this league, so we just kept the same game plan. I just think we turned the intensity up.
It's hard to fill a guy's shoes that as great as he is, so I just tried to come in and just play my game, and I was just being aggressive. It wasn't just me. Everybody had to, try to step up, and we fell short. Atlanta played well, so, we got to get back in the gym and get ready for the game Saturday.
Definitely, you miss Wall. I mean, that's, all-star starter, our best player. I mean, of course you miss him. But, we're not going to cry foul and use that as an excuse. We got to band together collectively, use the guys we have, because we feel like, we can beat them with what we have.
I mean, it would be great to have John for sure, but, I trust these guys, I trust my teammates, and John probably say the same thing. He's confident in all of us to step up and make things happen. This team's beatable. We know we feel like we're the better team. We just have to go out and just do what we're supposed to do.
Wall insists that his wrist is not broken, nor does he think there's any ligament damage. But he does expect to get another opinion back in Washington before deciding on a course of treatment. In Atlanta, I'm David Aldridge.
All right, DA, thanks so much. Time for Never Stop, Never Settle, presented by Hennessy. And the Atlanta Hawks finally had a good fourth quarter. Been a little bit of a problem so far in the playoffs. First 7 games, -4 on point differential, shooting 35%. They won the fourth, as I mentioned, by 11 in this game. So, Jack, what changes here moving forward to Game 3 based on this split?
Well, when you start on the road, if you get a split, you're happy.
That's a win.
That's a win. So, they didn't have John Wall. Like Paul said, we're not going to use that as an excuse, but, now they need to go home and get 2 at their place. So, hopefully John Wall can come back, and I need more from Nene. 2 games, he's 0 for 9.
Yeah, 2 points total.
Yes, 2 points total, 0 for 9. I need more from him. I need more from Gatot. And, I agree with what Bradley Beal said. I feel that Washington is the better team when they're clicking on all cylinders. So, they just got to go home and do the right thing. But however, you know, if Atlanta moves the ball and, you know, they get a little hot jump shooting streak, you know, maybe a long series.
Chuck, why can't the Wizards get more out of Nene in this series? They didn't play him late in game one. He was forced to come back into the game when Gortat fouled out here in game two, but nothing from him offensively.
Well, I have to blame that on John Wall. I'm going to give him a pass tonight, but
because he didn't play.
He didn't play, but I'm saying they other than Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, they had the second best backcourt in the NBA. And now they playing so much perimeter. My point guard, it's up to him to get the ball to Nene and Gortat. I agree with Shaq. They need more out of Nene and Gortat. If I'm John Wall, I make a conscious effort to like, okay, we go. Bradley's gonna get shots. Paul Pierce gonna get shots. I'm gonna get shots. But the key to being a great player is to get other guys involved who can't get it on their own. You know, that's what great players do. A great player can get a shot anytime he wants to. That doesn't mean he's gonna make it. But there are times you have to say, I'm running this play. I'm gonna get Nene a shot. We're gonna get him going. Or if I was John Wall, I'd say, hey, big fella, run right down the center of the floor. The first thing I'm gonna look for is you in the lane. Sometimes you have to help guys get going. Or Coach Whitman got to call a play. I don't know how many plays you think he called for Nene. You say he's 0 for 9, that's not enough shots, number one. You know, if you're 0 for 16 or 17, you're struggling. But if you just shoot, if you're basically 0 for 4 in 2 games.
That's what he's been, 0 for 4, 0 for 5.
But that's not getting it done. You can't get that many shots. To me, he's a guy who's close to a 20-point scorer. Maybe not on this team, but he's a 15, 16-point guy. And my point guard has to get those guys involved.
Just 1-1, and the Wizards got the split, Kenny, but you start hearing DA talking about further evaluations on John Wall. You got to be concerned for the Wizards.
Yeah, it didn't look good. Look well, you know, from the visual pictures that was sent back via, you know, social media. But I think overall, the Wizards feel comfortable about the way they're playing. You know, other than the fact of, you know, Nene not, you know, participating in the offensive end. But I think defensively, they've been able to meet Korver at the three-point line for the most part. They've been able to play at the pace they want. They weren't explosive tonight because they didn't have John Wall, and they go home with a split. So they're sitting saying, we came here to possibly get 2, but I don't think anyone thought they could get 1. So, you know, in that term. So they're feeling comfortable, even with Nene not playing well so far.
First loss of the young postseason for the Wizards. They'll take it back home with a split and play Game 3 in Washington on their home floor. Up ahead, we'll look ahead to Wednesday night's Game 2s with both LeBron and the Beard both needing to turn things around to get home splits. Back on Inside the NBA, LeBron James and the Cavaliers are back on TNT Wednesday night as they hit the floor, hoping to salvage a home court split against the Bulls. Likewise, the Rockets need to win to avoid hitting the road down 0-2 in their conference semifinal with the Clippers. The Cavs are adjusting to the loss of 2 starters, while Houston, by their own admission, simply didn't play hard or smart enough in their Game 1. We have reports on both series, starting with Rachel Nichols in Cleveland.
LeBron James likes to call the first game of a playoff series his feel-out game. And accordingly, he plans to watch about 5 hours of film breakdowns of the Cavaliers' Game 1 loss to Chicago. But as the media caught up with him just an hour into that process, he said he could already tell he has got to get more aggressive in Game 2.
I might have to change my mindset a little bit. Obviously, with Kev being out, it's something we all haven't been accustomed to this year. I've never kind of went to a game saying, okay, I'm going to be ultra aggressive to start. I've always had that fill-out thing, but last night it was a little bit too much fill-out. I think I only had 2 shots. You know, at one point I was just not aggressively offensively.
Everyone has to give a little bit more at both ends of the court. You know, our margin of error is smaller. You know, it's not fair to put everything on one guy.
He's not the type of guy that, you know, is going to run away from things. You know, I think like all great leaders, he starts with himself. And so, you know, we have to be ready. We understand that the intensity will be higher, and we have to be ready for that.
I thought I was able to do some other things, rebound the ball, share the ball, turn the ball over too much. Offensively, as far as shooting, I was not efficient enough. And for me, that's all game. Just from the standpoint, I'm a very efficient player as far as my shooting, and be 9 for 22, that's unacceptable.
Derrick Rose suffered a shoulder stinger in the final seconds of Game 1. He'd never had one before and said it scared him, especially considering his injury history. But he said he woke up Tuesday morning feeling no pain. In Cleveland, I'm Rachel Nichols.
The team missing their point guard, who had just 48 hours to prepare, found energy down the stretch to take Game 1. The Rockets know they let one get away, but they said they can't focus on the past. They must focus now on Game 2 and evening the series.
If I had all the answers, again, I've said it a million times, I'd run Wall Street and not talk to you chumps. I don't, and I'm out there trying to get our guys to play. We did not play well. That's just, I don't know. They didn't have a lot of juice. They had very vacant eyes. It just looked like we were running in mud. I don't know. If I knew what to get them out of that, you don't think I would have given them the elixir?
No, it's not trying to do too much, trying to be too cute, behind the back passes and things like that. Throwing no-look passes, when we just got to hit the open guy. It's pretty simple, and I think, like I said, it's what we can control.
And each game is hard, no matter how good you are, no matter how good your team is, you're playing against a team that's just as good. We don't expect anything to be easy.
The status of Chris Paul remains uncertain for Game 2, but after taking Game 1, it could provide Doc Rivers the opportunity to give Chris Paul some extra rest.
I don't want anybody to say they're Chris Paul. You're not. And that's basically what I said before the game. And I actually said, you're Austin Rivers, you're J.J. Redick. We went down the line. Because we just want you to be you. We don't want you to try to be someone else or even play like someone else or even think like someone else, because you can't do that. And but I think all the players, I think Austin has always been confident, but I think all of them are confident. I can't imagine a player in the NBA that doesn't have great confidence.
In Houston, I'm Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks to Tracy and Rachel. Back with more Inside after the break, including details on how you can participate in tomorrow night's lip sync war. Oh, yeah. Every weeknight on NBA TV, it's the starters. Usually at 6:30 Eastern Time. Sometimes not. They'll take care of you.
My Canadian brother.
There's no plaid. Just looking at the picture. Usually at least two of them have plaid.
Them are my Canadian brothers, man.
Why'd you change your voice when you said that?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
That was his Canadian accent.
I'm saving my voice. I'm getting ready for the lip sync tomorrow.
You don't need your voice for that, right? It's kind of the whole concept, Chuck. It's the lip sync war.
We just found out.
I told you he was pretty and dumb.
Charles just revealed his strategy for lip syncing.
No, we just breaking news. Shaq is singing one of his own songs tomorrow. He'll be lip singing one of his own hits.
So here's the thing.
I know I got skills.
These guys will do the fake singing. You decide who did it best with your genuine votes on social media. On Twitter, use these hashtags. Vote EJ, vote Chuck, vote Kenny, vote Shaq. We make it easy for you. Starting when the show starts.
Like the hat, Kenny.
I'm going all in tomorrow. I'm just letting you know.
I have been rehearsing.
Chuck Presley.
I spent all weekend in the studio.
But you don't sing, you don't.
Yeah, but you still have to learn the words, fool.
You need a studio for that?
You need a studio? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me and Dr. Dre were just chilling.
Drinking at the karaoke bar.
No, me and Dr. Dre, we were hanging out in Vegas in the studio.
Name dropper.
God. First of all, I was joking.
Shaq, do you care to reveal any of your strategy?
Yes. You'll see.
He cares to reveal it. He does care.
No, I thought you were going to reveal your strategy. That's why I asked.
First of all, he has no strategy to reveal.
Ooh.
My thing is,
give me a taste of something we're going to see tomorrow night.
I'm going to let you know. I'm putting on a big performance. This is a must-see.
Production value.
Oh, yeah. Production value is to the 10th power on mine.
Chuck?
Red, red wine. Doom, doom.
It's not karaoke.
Bring
You are
close
singing
to
again.
me. See? Pipes.
The pipes, yeah.
They're close to me.
Don't sing another song. We got to pay for that song.
Again, that's true.
No, y'all got to pay.
Another line.
It is time for a look at our NBA-style street team in action. They've captured player and fan style all season long.
I believe I can fly.
In this edition of NBA Style, presented by Samsung
If I rule the world.
Galaxy.
All season long, my partner in style, Lance Fresh, and I have been highlighting the latest looks in player fashion for NBA style. But we've had some help along the way. The NBA Style Street team, equipped with their Samsung Galaxies, have been capturing the coolest looks and jazziest trends amongst NBA fans from coast to coast. Here's a look at some of this season's most stylish fans. So if you're headed out to a playoff game, dress to impress. Because the NBA Style Street team is always looking for new faces of fashion. You ready? Let's go. For more NBA style clips, log on to nba.com/style.
Thank you, Damaris. This picture did not make the cut.
Okay, Chuck, I like that. Okay.
I like the part.
Okay, Chuck Holberry.
The part was hot.
Now,
Straight
Chuck,
down to
Chuck, I gotta say,
down the middle.
First of all, that was from the 80s America.
A little to the left down the middle.
And I did
follow you, Barkley. Hello, sir. How
I
are
look
you?
good back then.
I thought that was okay.
Sir.
Thank you, man.
I know we ran it to make fun of you, but I got to say that wasn't bad.
Show that again. That was all right.
A little down the left.
Not bad.
Check out the part, though.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that was nice, Fly. I think that was like 1986.
What did you tell
I'm
your
told
barber?
it's 1984.
Hey, 1984?
That sound right?
What did you tell your barber about the part? Like, I don't want it straight down the middle, just like move it
No,
to the
we
left.
had to. Back in the day, we wore the part on the either side of your head.
Are you on campus?
No,
here?
because you have to do like
No, he's not on campus.
This is my first year in the NBA, second
Okay,
year in the
all right.
NBA.
Okay,
you put the part here, Kenny, and then you brush it like all day to get it. Again, I had so many ways I got seasick.
Okay.
I did, yeah. I did. Yeah. Come on, man. You brush your hair till it's almost bleeding. You get those waves. I told you, I felt like I was on a boat. I got seasick. I'm just telling you, man.
He didn't have that outfit in Auburn, so that definitely wasn't a
No,
compliment.
that was a Boyd special in Philadelphia.
We seen the Auburn outfits.
You could.
This was a faux pas.
This.
Oh, you think?
I got tricked by Nike.
satin
Ira
shirt,
White
sir.
and Lynn Merritt told me kids all over the country.
Kenny, you
gonna
got
be
that?
He's smuggling grapes.
Hey, Kenny.
Like pajamas.
You're smuggling fruit.
And you know, that's
Hey,
when I was
Kenny,
going through my metrosexual
that
days. Somebody
Got
taught
that
me.
CT,
Somebody,
Metrosexuals would
somebody
never
taught me
claim you
about
for
carrying
that.
a purse back then. That was a faux pas also.
Your sandals are black.
It's like you're wearing pajamas there.
It was. Nike tricked me. Ira White, Lynn Merritt. That was bad.
You got him back, though.
I got him back.
It's time for
EJ's Nino Saturday Night.
presented by NBA.com.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
You can't
NBA
have
night.
sponsors that are part of the sponsor.
You can. I mean,
You can.
we can do whatever we want,
that's-
really.
that's-
And you know what?
It's like this is presented by Inside the NBA.
We already did it. That's an Emmy Award. Got tons of them around here at Turner Sports. And tonight was Emmy night in New York. The Sports Emmys up there, which is why I'm sitting here in Ernie's seat, because Ernie was up there representing the company, of course, and because he was a nominee, and it turns out a winner for the third time for Best Studio Host.
Good job, Ernie. Ernie.
But the best part of the story comes next, because EJ, to no one's surprise here, stole the show in New York by giving away his trophy. Take a look.
As for this, there's only one place it belongs, and that's on the mantle at Stuart Scott's house. So if the girls could come up, please. This is not for me. Come on up. Hey, look. Look, like a lot of people in this room, I love your dad. And having gone through cancer, and he and I would text back and forth, and I would just tell him, and I'll tell Shelley the same thing. Look, you may have cancer, but it doesn't have you. And you just fight, and you just lean in on people who love you. We love Stuart Scott. This is your Emmy. We want to hear from you.
Incredible, poignant moment tonight for our friend, our colleague, Ernie Johnson. Third time around, he's won
Good job,
that award.
Ernie.
And give a shout out with Sager. We love you. We miss you. And also, you see my girl Shelly Smith there, man. She's been battling too, but Stuart was a great guy. We miss him.
Yeah.
And but Ernie, man, we ain't never surprised at anything Ernie does.
Nope.
But this thing, it started with Ernie. Like I said, Craig Sager's battling, man. He's a great man. We wishing him the best. And Shelley, and we lost Stuart. But, man, Ernie Johnson, the man.
Absolutely.
So get your ass out of his seat.
To no one's surprise here. You know what? I'm going to do that right after the show wraps up. And EJ will be back here tomorrow night. Usually we finish with something funny here. But
You're great, man. Matt, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you very much, Chuck. I appreciate that. Thanks for being there, everybody.